Good morning, guys.
Morning.
Morning.
I can't believe I almost forgot about you.
Thought maybe you slept in.
Yeah.
Right.
No, unfortunately, I did not do that. I almost forgot that it was Wednesday. I was uploading podcasts, and then I got hungry, and I was making some breakfast, and then I see my text messages, and I go, "Oh, that's Wednesday." So glad you guys reached out quick enough, so it didn't get too far. But yeah, it's Wednesday. We had high school regionals last week. This week is team sectionals, and then it kind of goes into the state series sectionals next week. A lot of stuff happened. We talked about it a little bit on the Illinois Wrestler podcast last night, but big 165-pound 3A shakeup with Liam Kelly not passing skin checks. You guys hear about that? And what are your initial thoughts?
Just briefly, that that he had a note and it wasn't accepted or something. I don't.
Yeah.
Just what you read on the internet.
Yeah. Well, so according to like rumors and stories from what happened, yeah, there he has some issue that he has no. This has been presented before, I guess, and he presented a note, and I guess the trainer and the head official did not accept the note, and he did not pass. And you guys are both coaches, and obviously, I don't remember when did the doctor note get implemented where that was the precedent. Like, how was do you guys remember when that was? Has that always been a thing?
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
But originally, was it always a like specific note, or was it like you just go get a note from a doctor? Now it's like,
Well, it was just a note from the doctor, but then the IHSA gave a form that the doctor had to fill out, and I have a hard time believing that a doctor's form was, if it was filled out correctly, that a trainer can overrule a doctor. That would be a very difficult decision for that person to make, and the head official. I mean, because you're overruling a true doctor.
Right.
Yeah. And supposedly, go ahead.
I was just going to say, we had the case, Oscar Martinez, junior year, qualified for state tournament, and we had a doctor's note, and during skin checks, they questioned the validity of it, I guess. I don't remember, but I remember Peterson coming to get us the next morning, and we had to go to the clinic there, and they looked at it, and they didn't clear him. And we had a doctor's note. He had seen the doctor. And so, I mean, it's not unprecedented. It's crazy, especially for, we had a doctor's note, but, they didn't clear him there. But well, this doctor, we saw an actual doctor. I don't know the ins and outs if it was just a trainer that said, hey, no.
Yeah. Well, also another aspect of this situation that was talked about is that the dermatologist that they had the note signed from was also on FaceTime with the trainer. So there was a communication between the medical professional and the trainer. And
you're kidding me.
Wow.
Yeah, and they still overruled it?
Still.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
That's a very hard pill to swallow right there.
Yeah. And it obviously, there's a couple other situations that I think got brought up, but I don't know, again, we're hearing, this specific situation is one that is obviously, it takes notice because he's he's a top 10 kid in the country, returning state champ, heavily favored to win state this year, hasn't lost in the state of Illinois this year. And, he didn't pass skin checks. That's a big one not to get through the regional.
So I know they qualified team regional. Is he eligible to wrestle in the
well, I would assume so, right? Doesn't doesn't it's a whole that's another component of like what we kind of alluded to a little bit yesterday. One of the challenges with the skin situation in the state series itself is, state is 3 weeks away. So in 3 weeks, even if he did have a skin issue, he's not going to have it in 3 weeks. And the fact that the regional was made up of 4 individuals, one of which had a 6-6 record and 2 in which had a 10-12 record. So it is like the worst of the worst regional.
There was only 4 kids in his bracket.
4 kids in his bracket, and 3 of them all had like, well, 2 of them.
Was he the 4th or was he the 5th?
What do you mean he was the 4th?
Like you're saying, there's only 4.
There's only 4 individuals, including him. Yeah. If you look at the bracket,
so there's only 3.
Yeah, if you look at the bracket, there's only 3 people listed.
That's just unbelievable.
So I'm trying to. I guess he would have had to wrestle in the semifinals. He would have had to wrestle sometime.
Yeah. So that's the biggest news that's happening right now. Obviously, I think it tarnishes the 165-pound 3A state title. I mean, at the end of the day, whoever wins the state, they wrestled who was available at the tournament. But in no way, shape, or form is this like a legitimate state championship just because the best kid's not there. And I'm sure that's happened before, but
I mean that happens. I don't know. I mean, I'm not gonna. Whoever wins state at 165, they're not gonna put an asterisk next to them.
No, they're still champ.
Sure, there's still a champion of the tournament that was put on, but at the end of the day, anybody who knows. I think this is the difference between what goes into record books and then what people who follow the sport know. I mean,
there should be an asterisk by the trainer's name. Like dumbass.
Yeah. Especially in the hard part about is really the regional, because there's really no real. It wasn't really not much wrestling that was happening at that regional specifically. It's just kind of like it was just kind of the thing that precedes this, the sectional or whatever, because it has to be done, but. Yeah, crazy situation with that. I'm not sure what's going to happen with it, but I'll keep you guys updated on what I hear. I do hear that there's conversations about meetings and potential lawsuits or whatever the situation. I don't know how they actually correct this. This would be interesting too. Is like the IHSA is supposed to be the governing entity, right? But like, how could they govern this unless they were like having somebody on staff at that regional to basically say, this can happen?
I don't think. We're going to fight this. Well, I don't think there's any fight anymore. I mean, the regional happened. Those kids wrestled. They moved on, and was it right or wrong? I wasn't there. I can't tell you, but they're not going to step in now and say, "Hey, we got to bring these 4 guys together at this neutral site and wrestle and see who actually is the top 3 now."
I'm surprised there wasn't some communication with the IHSA.
There might have been. We have not got word on it.
I mean, maybe the IHSA should think about having a doctor on hand the day of all the weigh-ins at regionals in case there is a question.
Well, that might get expensive.
Yeah, but no, you just do a Zoom time. 90% of the time there's going to be nothing, but if there is a question.
Well, the challenge is, what's the point of the forms then? Like, what?
Right.
If the forms don't have any significance, then why have forms?
Yeah, I mean, just think about the kids. Sometimes a kid weighs in and his face is all beat up from wrestling, scrapes and cuts and stuff, and and they might mistake that for something. But I mean, it would have to be just blatant to not let a kid wrestle.
Or if it's hey, the notes for whatever's on your face, but they look at your leg and, ooh, what's going on your leg? Maybe, I don't know.
Yeah.
Well,
different spots that aren't.
Yeah, well, that's another thing that's interesting in the world of wrestling and skin stuff, because people weigh in with singlets, theoretically you could have a skin issue and it could be covered.
Oh yeah,
right, without a doubt. Yeah.
And so I'm curious about how all that stuff is like. And then is there a spectrum of skin diseases that are allowed to wrestle with and then others are not allowed to wrestle with? Because a kid comes to me and he's got like a spot of ringworm, and it's a little ringworm, and they've been actively putting stuff on it. You can see that it's like dried out. It's like, I don't care, I might get it, but I might not. I have medicated soap stuff that helps prevent that, and so that's like less that's less unnerving, right? Ringworm is like the smallest of the infections that don't have really as much ramifications. Obviously, there's other ones that are a little bit grosser and a little more severe. So, it's interesting because this. Yeah, it's just interesting.
Me as being a coach for a long, long time, I still get stuff.
Yeah.
All of a sudden, I haven't been on a wrestling mat in a few years. Like all of a sudden, I'm like, oh my God, what's that? But I had my medicine, so I just put my medicine on it,
Yeah.
I mean, it's just, it's crazy how that, yeah. Hey, basically what you're saying is that the trainer and an official overruled a doctor.
A doctor's note, yeah.
Yeah.
So, I mean, like you said, maybe there's more to it. Maybe it was worse than originally. I don't know. Without knowing what it was.
But then as a parent, you'd be like, oh my God, we got to get you back again and get you checked again.
Right.
Yeah.
Before the tournament starts.
Yeah.
Yep. We're gonna find out. I know a lot of people are figuring out. Yeah, it's too bad. It's a very unfortunate situation, especially because it's like so far, like the state tournament is so far away, and like it's almost like, think about, like, let's go to golf, because I love analogies with golf, but like golf, the Masters, people qualify well in advance to the week 3 weeks before, right? So you win a tournament the year before, you win a major the year before, you are so high on your ranking list, you get an invitation. Some guys win at the John Deere Classic and then they get to go, right? Like, right? I think the John Deere Classics before, or one of the, what I mean? One of the tournaments before somebody can win and all of a sudden they get into it.
Right.
With a guy who's like top 10 in the country, I feel like he should automatically qualify for the high school state tournament.
Well, you can't do that, but
well, you can technically do we could change a lot. You could change anything if there was a will to do it.
The thing that sucks about it, there's a kid from Northern Illinois who really wanted to wrestle him in the finals.
Oh yeah.
Right?
There's a few.
I'm for sure, I guarantee you.
Yeah, that's one thing we talked about. I think it's hard, obviously, everybody, again, like I said, whoever wins that bracket is deserving of the credit that they won the bracket with whoever was in the bracket, right? It's nothing against the kids that are there that are going to still compete for the championship, but it is a little unresolved when it comes to the.
Is the kid from Mount Carmel a senior?
He is a senior.
Oh, God.
Yeah, he's a senior.
Has he committed somewhere?
He's going to the University of Illinois.
Okay.
Yeah. So yeah, for him, luckily he's he's a returning state champ. So he's had the opportunity to win a state title. He's got that under his belt. He is going to the Division I level. That is good. He is nationally ranked. That is good. But man, imagine this happening to a senior who has not won a state title, who's
right.
It's just
this is his year. Yeah. Well.
Yeah.
Crazy.
Yep. Crazy stuff.
Let's talk about the dual sectionals.
Yeah. So Thursday, tomorrow, dual sectionals take place. Locally, we've got teams. Lena Winslow is wrestling 1A matchup. We got Dixon will be out there. We got Hananiga versus Grant. I can pull them up and look at some other ones, but that's off the top of my head as far as local teams.
The problem I have with them wrestling now, and then not the state tournament, or we usually wrestle after the state tournament, the dual, is that now you're taking some kids that would be going down to the state tournament. Let's say they're not a sectional qualifier, and they would be going down to the state tournament because they wrestled on Tuesday. The duel's still alive. These kids can now go to the state tournament to work out and see what the state tournament's like. And now that's going to be taken away from half the teams.
Right.
Yeah. That's my take on it. But again, as Dalton knows, I'm very much a team guy.
Yeah.
Not an individual guy.
You're talking about the fact that,
you just lost half your teams that could have been down at the state tournament working out, watching state young kids who want to be part of that and get to the state tournament. They get to see it. They get to work out in the wrestling room at Illinois. I mean, all the things that were just magical for young kids.
Yeah, well, they still have the opportunity to go, and obviously, if you qualify for state, I would assume the team states will the teams that are qualified for team state will still.
They're going, but you're half the kid. You half the teams.
Yeah.
I mean, if you don't have dual sectionals until after the state tournament.
Yeah.
So
Well,
you
this-
had all the teams down there, and it's kind of a badge of honor.
Yeah.
Being down there working out in the wrestling room and stuff, and people watching you.
Yeah. Well, this was also discussed yesterday is, the fact that this is like an off week, right? Why not wrestle 2 matches instead of just the one? So why not actually,
So you only bring the top 4 down to the state tournament?
well, not, or that, or some people were suggesting to go back to bringing the second placed team at the regional to the sectional and having a true wrestle, a true dual qualifier. So you wrestle the top 2 teams at the sectional, or the top 2 teams at the regional face each other, and then face the winner of the opposite. So you'd basically do a 4-man.
That would be great, because those were awesome.
Yeah.
I mean,
Well,
we
what
had
if
a
you-
bunch of those.
What have you even cross-bracketed? So you had the 2 regional champs wrestle the second place. So whoever took second at the Grant Regional, Hononegah wrestles them. I mean,
Right.
then you could find out, well, maybe the 2 best teams are actually in the same regional.
Oh yeah, but look at Mount Carmel and Marmion and all those. What have you seen that regional? Or
Yes.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
It's like the top 4 teams in state. They're all in. 2 of them are going to be left out. Yeah, that's kind of a good idea, Dan. I like that. But nobody's going to listen to us.
No.
Well,
especially since we were late getting on our podcast.
Yeah, I know. They all tuned in at 8, and I guess we're not doing it today. So they moved on to bigger and better.
Yeah. Well, no, I mean, technically the thought is just the fact that, everybody's getting up for the team sectional event, but it's only 1 match and
Right.
they're taking a week off. So it's like, it's not like, they could easily wrestle 3 matches.
But I guess moving forward, won't the
or 2 matches. That's what it is.
Does the calendar change next year? Or is there still going to be 2 weeks between the regional and the sectional?
It looks like, if you look at this website, it looks like it's going to be that way.
Yeah, but this changed last year in the middle of the springtime, right? So spring or summertime. So I think
they knew going into the season that there would be this 2 weeks.
Yeah, but I think they could probably switch it and change it in the off season, depending on how
They can do whatever they want.
Right.
Yeah.
Let's be honest, so we know that.
That's what I said. If they can do whatever they want, they could look at national rankings as a qualifier to the state tournament.
I mean, that's nice and all, but I mean, at the end of the day, I mean, a kid can be nationally ranked and doesn't mean they're going to be your state champ.
No, but if they're nationally ranked,
I
they're
mean,
not going to they shouldn't.
There's a lot of kids who are ranked high in state that don't make it downstate. Should we just put them down there because they're
right?
I mean,
you gotta work.
I understand what you're saying, Dalton, but on the other side, I mean, you can't just go by. Yeah,
the
kid is very good. We know he's a defending state champ, but
he's not just a defending state champ. He got 3rd at the Ironman.
Yeah.
He placed at the Super 32. I mean, all of those tournaments are tougher.
I'm not taking anything away from him, but
I guess that's another thing. Like, what you said, there's a couple brackets, and we're alluding to this last night. There's a couple single A sectionals that are like, a lot of the tougher teams are kind of bogged into one sectional where, there's six highly competitive guys and there's only 4 spots to go to the state tournament. Like, do you just think that that's the nature of the beast, or do you think that there could be a way to get people to the state tournament?
That is what it is.
That's the nature of the beast. I mean, you got to remember back in the day, I mean, they didn't seed the state tournament. So you could have the 2 best guys meet in quarterfinals or the semifinal. I mean, it's
all the time.
We've come a long way with them seeding the state. I mean, it should maybe move out to the sectional, but hey, if you want to be the best, you got to be ready to wrestle, and
Yeah, I guess this is just a lot of people's arguments against the way that it's done, simply because if the goal of the high school state tournament, and I don't think this actually is, but if the goal of the high school state tournament is to medal the top 6 kids per weight class, then they obviously are not accomplishing that if there's a sectional that is disproportionately heavy.
That'll never change.
That'll never,
Yeah.
Well, I wish I had this pulled up. I was going to show you guys because we were talking about regional team brackets, and there was a regional that I was going through. I'm not sure it was 3A or 2A, but it was either 3A or 2A, and there were more than half of the teams had less than 5 kids in the regional.
That's crazy, isn't it? But that is what it is.
Yeah.
It's been that way forever.
Yeah.
But can you
back in the day, you were hoping that when at the state tournament, you were going to get a Chicago public school kid
Exactly.
to go, and then you knew you were going to win one match.
Then you're like, okay, I'm probably gonna get by the first round.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, Marty, I brought this up, I thought last week, because I was like, is the regional even necessary sometimes? Because it's like, it seems like some of these regionals literally don't have enough guys to even have full brackets to qualify.
It's necessary. That's the people not getting kids out for wrestling. That's the problem.
Yeah. That is part of the situation for sure. If people got more kids out on the team, but I guess what I was just like, I mean, half the teams. I want to bring it up because I wish I had it, but half the teams had less than 5 kids registered for regionals, which I was like, so that means there was less. I mean, again, yeah, it's just most of the brackets were already figured out, which is not a good state. Yeah. Is not a good state of wrestling affairs if that's the case. So,
well, they could always go back to the 1A and 2A, and then they could fill those brackets up, right?
Then you wouldn't have that problem.
Yeah, you wouldn't have that problem at all, and then you'd really find out who the state champs are.
Yeah. Exactly. See, there is a solution in there, Marty.
Yeah, nobody's going to listen to me. I'm a diehard believer.
Well, luckily, I don't think
you're the only one. 4 classes.
Yeah, no kids. Yeah,
more opportunities.
Yeah, kids need that. You really got to.
Yeah, I mean, he's
make things easy in life.
He's 2-20. He deserves to move on.
Yeah. Well, I don't think you're the only one, obviously, on that side. I mean, I think so many people have had the conversation about going back to 2 classes, and there's people who are in certain positions of leadership in the IHSA and the coaches and stuff, and that person was said to have said, we're never going back to less classes, we're only going to get more classes.
Oh God.
Once you expand, you're never going to take away.
Yeah.
Like that's a given. I mean, they've already done it. That's never going to go back no matter what anyone says. I mean, it's a done deal.
Yeah. Which is so weird because it's like, it definitely dilutes. And here's a question for you guys. You guys have been to the state tournaments recently. Was there more people, were there more fans watching the state tournament in the past versus some of the, I know during certain times, like certain sessions today, obviously now less people come to certain sessions just because they separate the sessions,
right?
But they still do quarterfinals together, but that's on Thursday or Friday morning, I think.
Friday.
And then, but like it used to be when I was in high school, it was on Friday night and everybody came, and I just
everybody,
it was packed.
Yeah. So, have you noticed? Is there a difference in?
Oh my God! Yeah.
Huge difference, session by session. I mean, the Class A people, they shut down their towns. I mean, it used to be that one end of the assembly hall would be like Byron, Sterling, New. I mean. And they were loud, Dakota. I mean, they were just crazy. Now they're there for the 1A, and then they're not there. I mean, per session, it's a smaller. I think it's.
Yeah.
Now, what about the state finals? Like the last event Saturday night, is it as full as it used to be? I don't really have too many.
Yeah.
Experience.
I would say, I mean,
it's still got. Yeah, I would too. But those first couple of rounds, they need to have more mats. They need to have all the teams wrestling.
Well, and this year everyone's gonna wrestle twice on Thursday.
Yeah, which is great.
Which is good. Yeah,
everyone really.
Everyone. Yeah, it used to be 1A and 2A wrestled their first 2. 3A only wrestled 1 round. Now everyone's gonna wrestle 2 rounds Thursday.
But then they're only necessary if you win. Are you wrestling on Friday? Or just one match? So first round, quarterfinals, then semifinals, then finals.
I think Friday night still, right?
Yeah.
Semifinals Friday night.
Yeah.
Which is again another aspect. It's like, if you win your first 2 matches, you don't wrestle for another 24 hours, and then if you win that match, you don't wrestle another 24 hours.
Right, which is
You're
hard.
right. Yeah.
So if you win the
And you
bracket,
gotta, and in between, you got to make weight.
yeah,
Right.
yeah, which would make it easier for people to cut a lot more weight. I mean, if you're good, you got the whole day to basically cut weight for the next day. Yeah, interesting stuff. Yeah, I wonder how it'll play out over the next couple of years. I mean, I think these complaints are always interesting because some of the complaints from the fans of wrestlers and people who've been involved with wrestling for so long. I mean, I guess nothing they say ever matters. Like,
oh, it doesn't.
Yeah,
I mean, it's that group of people that make those decisions. And,
yeah. And they'll listen to you. They'll look at you on the eye and say,
Yeah.
"Oh, yeah, I like that idea."
You can see it go right through one ear and out the other.
Yeah. But right behind their hand, fingers
Yeah.
are crossed, and like, that makes a lot of sense. Not gonna happen.
yeah,
It's still a great environment though down in Champaign. It's awesome. I'm from Iowa. High school state tournament Iowa is incredible, but I'd still say Illinois is not even. There's nobody. I mean, Illinois is just great wrestling.
Yeah. If you don't get chills anytime during the Grand March, then something
Right.
with you. I mean, no matter how many times you've seen it.
Did we get our credentials, Dalton?
You were asking about that. No, you don't normally get your credentials this early.
That's right. They moved them week ahead. That's right. So
Yeah.
Well, no, I mean, it's a you just reach out the week of.
Okay.
And yeah,
we might be the best podcast there.
we might be one of the only ones.
Well, that puts us right in the top 2.
We're the top 2.
Yeah, so we'll
Probably
be down there.
entertaining.
Yeah, we've got.
Don't forget my technology lady. I need her.
Yeah, but yeah,
I'm doing weigh-ins again, so I'll have.
Oh, you'll be down there?
Yeah.
Cool.
Okay. So you can give us the skinny on anybody who misses weight. There's obviously that.
Or don't look at good luck if you have somebody with a skin problem. Just
He's not in charge of that one.
Can I use my past trainer credentials and just say, "Yep, you're good"?
Right.
Yeah. But that's high school wrestling. In the world of college wrestling, Iowa takes on Ohio State.
Yeah, there's no reason to talk about college wrestling right now.
No, I think there is.
I don't think there's anything.
Right out of Oklahoma.
It's the past. Everything is the past. It's just the past.
Yeah.
You got to move forward.
Yeah, well,
they got a tough moving forward, that's for sure.
Wouldn't you love to see Penn State and Oklahoma State wrestle in a duel? I don't think it'd be close, but I still think.
Yeah, I would love to see it. Yeah. But
yeah.
I don't. Like I said, I think last week. I mean, everyone harps on the teams after they wrestle Penn State, but Penn State's just that good.
Yeah.
I mean, they're just that talented.
Oklahoma State, man, impressed me against Iowa State. Oh.
I thought that was going to be. I mean, there were a lot of those swing matches. I mean, gets a takedown. I mean,
yeah, outside of 33, everything was really close.
Yeah.
Yeah, but who won the close ones?
Okay, they found a way, right?
Yeah, right.
But and I'm a firm believer. You live by that. Sooner or later, it catches up to you too.
Yeah,
right?
that's true.
I don't know. I would have the match I really wanted to see was Frost and Forrest to get a good. Jax is Jax. He's very good, but that would have been a great test. And it's too bad, Frost was out for the whole weekend, so we'll have to wait till the Big 12s, I guess.
Yeah,
they put themselves in a position though that they could be second place in the Nationals. Oklahoma State. I mean, they really could.
They could, and they could be sixth.
Yeah.
Right.
I mean, you're counting on quite a few freshmen and they've stepped up all season for them. I'm not saying they're not capable, but you get to those big tournaments at the end of the year and things change.
Well, speaking of, I mean, if there is a hotly contested team race at the Nationals this year, and from a dual meet standpoint, I was not looking too tough when it comes to that race. If Iowa finishes outside of the top 5, what are they going to do?
Nothing. give them another year and say, yeah, they are so they're a tough team to talk about at times because they look so good, and then they just, I mean, like Nasir Bailey, you think, all right, maybe he's turning the corner. I mean, even though he lost a tough match against Nebraska, he looked pretty good, but then, you come back the following week. It's just, I don't know.
If you look at the past 2 years and their involvement with NIL guys, they haven't produced very well.
No.
Well, so do you know?
But those guys, here's my thing. Like, and I think we talked before, those guys are coming from, programs. They're not used to the Big Ten. They're not used to the grind. And I think that there's something to be said about that. I mean, the grind of the Big Ten and the grind, the environment in the Iowa wrestling was probably a lot different than the environment in Arkansas, wherever those two guys came from.
Little Rock,
right? That's in Arkansas.
Yeah, it is.
I mean, and even, who else? Oh, last year they got the guys from Arizona State. I mean,
yeah,
they're used to the sun.
Right, yeah.
You're coming to the Midwest.
They lose weight by sitting in 100-degree weather.
Yeah, you come to the Midwest, you're not seeing the sun for 5 months.
It was so prominent this weekend of like how tough the Big Ten is, because I watched a ton of duels this weekend, and it's just like, oh my God. I mean, it's like so many 1-2 point matches, and I mean, everybody's got decent guys on the team. I mean, there's some good teams that would go out and just kick the living crap out of everybody in the non-conference, but in the Big Ten, they win maybe 2 duels during the year in the conference.
Yeah. Well, what I was curious about is, so Jim Zaleski got 4th place at nationals when he got fired the following season. And I was just curious if they were going to give Tom Brands the same amount of rope that they gave Jim Zaleski.
But I guess here's the question. Back then, they had Brands in the win, right? They had him lined up. He's Iowa. He is who we are. Who do they have to replace him?
Well, they got a few. Doug Schwab.
I mean,
some people throwing around Kevin Dresser.
Young.
Take them from
they need young.
Right.
We don't need to go old. And I'm old. I mean, I would not.
Jordan Burroughs doesn't have a job. Kyle Dake doesn't have a job.
Exactly. I mean, but I think I think he could have taken 2nd or 1st, and they probably might have replaced him because it was the right time to get Brands. I mean, he was doing good things at Vodtech, brought kids with him. So I don't know. I mean,
there's nothing wrong with going out.
What if they finished 5th, but they put 3 kids in the national finals again?
Iowa?
Yeah.
They might lose 3 dual meets. Well, no, this one's not at home. Well, they've already lost 2 at home, and they've already lost.
Do they have Okie State at home, or is that at Okie State?
I don't know.
I think it's
at Okie State.
They have 4 losses
last
right
year's
now, right? They have 4 losses.
They got 2 at home, which is probably the most in how many years, Marty?
I mean, they could have 6 losses. He might be gone before nationals.
But this kind of goes back to, like, I think Dalton's brought that. Do dual meets really mean a lot?
No, they don't.
Like, at the end of the year, I mean, if they produce at the Big Ten,
I guess that's my point.
Nationals, like, I mean,
dual meets don't matter. Dual meets do not matter, and I actually don't think they should, because I like the opportunities that teams are organizing their backups and putting guys out there.
Opportunities, yeah.
One, because that gives them a ongoing competition schedule. It shows how good the backups are. It also gives them an opportunity to kind of fight. Again, Tom Brands was talking about the 141 pounder who they have wrestling this week, saying that, hey, why don't you make a statement that you're the best? So he's actively encouraging the roster battle within his own room.
Who do they wrestle this weekend? Is it Ohio State?
They wrestle Ohio State today.
Yeah, it's a good time to put somebody in, right? Throw them into the. There you go.
Yeah, it's like, hey, you want to be the starter? All right, well, you beat Jesse Mendez, and
right.
Then you can be the man. Maybe he does.
Yeah, well, I feel like that's indicative of what kind of I was struggling with. Tom is like, voicing these old school thoughts, but it's not really the same situation, right? Like, it's just not. Why would you send a guy out against? Why would you send a guy who's not been the starter all year out against Jesse Mendez and then say in the media somehow that, hey, this is an opportunity for you to earn your spot? It's like,
right?
How are you going to earn your
Put
spot
him out against Purdue or somebody? You know, or give him a couple weeks of wrestling, not just here you go.
Go get him.
Yeah. Well, if you want the spot, go beat Jesse Mendez.
Yeah. You're wrestling. You're going to wrestle probably the Hodge Trophy winner. Let's go get him.
Yeah. And what's that say? I mean, again, this is. I think Brands is out. I think he needs to go. To be honest, like there's part of his personality that is too lost in the past. I mean, what does that even say to Bailey? Like you're telling Bailey, well, listen, you're not good enough. We want to make sure you know that. So we're putting another guy out there. And like, how is that encouraging?
Or you're looking at, was Bailey, man, confidence is not there. It's not going to get better getting your ass kicked by Mendez. So let's hold you back. I don't know. Maybe he's hurt.
Yeah. But I guess what I'm saying is he's out there saying that, you know, he's trying to create a competition within the room, which competition within the room's not bad, but the way that it seems like he's going about it is almost like, you know, it just seems silly. It's not really like a.
But then you look at the 84-pounder that's filling in. What's his name?
Arnold.
Yeah, Gabe Arnold wrestling that McNeely, and he was dwarfed by him. Did you see the height difference? Yeah. And he just wrestled his ass off.
Yeah.
I mean, as a people like us, if you see guys, you know when they're outclassed, but just wrestle hard, take shots, and a couple of those guys in Iowa don't even want to take shots.
So, like you said, you know, going to the whole team aspect, that's what you need from that guy.
Yeah.
Right? Don't go out there. We know you're overmatched, but keep it close. Yeah. Only give up 3, and that could be the difference of winning.
Well, that was the other guy from Little Rock. He hurt his finger, and that's all he worried about the whole match is his finger. He kept looking at his finger. Well, that guy's going to go up and rip your finger off.
Well, at least he didn't get stalled out this time.
What?
At least he didn't get stalled out this time.
Right. I mean, you just wrestle. And they're not doing that at Iowa right now.
Yeah. Well, it will be interesting to see what happens tonight in the duel, because I believe it's tonight, correct? Tonight?
No, Friday.
Oh, Friday.
Dalton, it's Wednesday. They don't wrestle on Wednesday.
Dalton.
What is wrong with you?
I'm off. I'm out of here, dude. All the days kind of run together right now.
Dalton, I guess we'll have to text him on Tuesday night.
What year is it right now? What year?
Yeah.
So this Friday night they wrestle, and it should be interesting. Obviously, Ohio State's heavily favored, and they already beat Iowa pretty significantly at national duels, and I think everybody's kind of just gearing up for.
What about Ohio State's head coach?
Tom Ryan? Tom Ryan? Isn't he? He's too old though.
I know. I'm just saying, but if you think about it, I mean, look at that. I mean, he was roommates with the Brands too. I think.
Yeah, he's too old right now to.
Would that be a move he would make?
No way.
Leave Ohio. I mean, I think he's.
Yeah, I think
pretty content, pretty happy right there.
He's got to be happy with everything.
A few years ago, whenever Iowa was I think the Nationals were at Iowa, or either the Big Ten was, there was a bunch of Ohio State people, and I was saying, hey, we need to get him back at Iowa. And they said, there's no way. He gets everything he wants.
Oh, sure.
And he's got a good coaching staff. So,
Oh.
But you can always go outside of Iowa.
You think?
Yeah. Kyle Dake.
Yep.
You think they would go outside of him? Outside of Iowa, huh?
Without there.
I gotcha. I just didn't know if Iowa would go outside of the University of Iowa.
What about Metcalf?
Well, there we go. I mean, that's why I said
that's not going outside of Iowa.
You're right.
But I think Brent Metcalf would be a
good choice.
Yeah.
I think he's got a good attitude. You listen to him. He'd get kids there.
It'll be interesting to see. I mean, so maybe we'll just pick this up in the springtime when they make it official. But I think if they don't get, I mean, I would love to hear the rationale behind why they got Zaleski out after such a high performance at nationals. Even though it wasn't first, it sure wasn't what this year was.
He had won a couple titles too, right?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
Right.
I think a lot of it comes down too, though, to the AD. She's pretty. She wants Iowa to win in all sports.
Well, here's the thing. You give me the credentials when we're at the Big Tens, and me and Andrew, we'll ask those questions. We'll find grants and who do you think's going to take your job?
Make sure you.
And as I'm running away, I'll hold the microphone. Hey.
Yeah, I don't know if he'll like that question. And again, to Marty's point,
hey,
I think you gotta ask the athletic director what their expectations are, and yeah, I mean, yeah, it's curious. We're obviously this is the season of going after Iowa, and it just continues to pack on for them.
What do we think? We're thinking they could have 6 losses, right?
They could, yeah. I mean, and I guess here's the thing: it's a testament to how good they've been,
right?
People, right? But it's like sharks. There's blood in the water. Take advantage of it, right?
Yeah.
These other teams are not feeling bad for them. Let's go in. Let's beat the hell out of Iowa.
Yeah.
I mean, what's his name from Minnesota? Never beaten him in his 11 years as a head coach.
Oh, really?
Egger, right?
Really?
He's been there 11 years already.
He beat Iowa.
He's been there. Yeah, I was just gonna say he's been there that long.
You know, sometimes you forget about them, but man, those guys are tough. Minnesota, he always has tough kids. And you know, another one we need to talk about a little bit more is Wisconsin. They're having a great year. They're wrestling tough. I mean, they got a decent team. They can have a few All-Americans.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like that's a little propaganda there. I mean, they're not doing bad, but
Marty gets a kickback every time he throws a Wisconsin name out there.
What are you talking about?
Yeah.
No, I'm dead serious.
I believe they lost. I mean, I don't want to get too far in the weeds on Wisconsin, but yeah, they're definitely not having a terrible year. They've got some young guys that are doing well.
They're definitely better this year than they were last year.
Yeah, they had some of those guys redshirt last year, so that made a big difference.
So they got guys, and they moved the Amos kid up to heavyweight.
Yeah.
I mean, he's a contender for
a medal.
Yeah.
That heavyweight's wide open.
I mean, he's probably one that you can't say. I mean, it's hard to say they underperformed, but he hasn't lived up to, what they thought he was going to bring to them.
Yeah, but he did get this past weekend. Who'd they wrestle?
Well, you're the Wisconsin fan.
What?
Northwestern?
No. It wasn't Purdue. It was on
They did
Sunday.
wrestle Purdue. They wrestled Purdue on Tuesday, I think.
No, they only wrestled Friday, Saturday.
Okay, well, they wrestled Purdue last
Sunday.
They wrestled
I think they wrestled Purdue on Sunday.
Yeah, and then somebody on Friday.
Michigan State?
But was it Michigan?
Hold on.
But he got taken down in the last 4 seconds. He had the lead. All he had to do was hand fight, and he freaking gets taken down out low single.
They won versus Purdue, lost versus Ohio State. That was their last 2 competitions.
So what
he was Feldman? He was beating Feldman and got taken down in the third period, with 6 seconds left.
Yeah.
I don't know why that came up, but all right.
Well, either way,
Marty, you got to get in the halls today. You got to find a 6-pounder for Hananiga.
I would have found probably 15 by then.
They got to have someone to put out there that at least make Grant think about it.
Is that a little too late for late season acquisitions?
No, not if you're trying to go downstate. I don't think.
Right. I don't know that's going to be interesting. I ran between both teams, looking at everything. It's going to be really close.
Yeah. Well, 100% is going to come down to some bonus points.
It is, and you're looking
stay off your back.
You're looking at Hananiga right now. They got 4 pins. You know that. Those guys are all going to pin.
They might get techs.
Oh yeah, but I think
that's 4 points, right?
Yeah, but you know what? I bet you they're in there. You are pinning guys.
Right. 100%. But the problem is you're giving up almost 2 weight classes when you forfeit, right? Because you're giving up 6 points.
Right.
So that's 2 weight classes to try to make that up.
And then you're trying to figure out, okay, which regional was better? Was Hananiga's regional or was Grant's regional? And you look at, some of the kids, it's just, it's going to be a great dual meet.
Yeah. Hey, Dalton, you're kind of kid in the know. Huntley, they had that.
Yeah, Radek Dvorak, I guess, quit a couple weeks ago.
Oh, Jesus.
Yep, top 4 kid in the state. Sophomore or junior,
right?
Placed in the state, ranked in the state. He is not. He quit the team.
Oh, damn.
Well, that'll teach you something, right? That's a parent issue.
What do you mean?
Man.
Well, we're assuming. I don't really know what transpired.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's another, again, that happened. There was another topic I wanted to ask about, but I don't know McNames. I think you got to go. But, the regional that was at Harvard, I saw a video of the regional at Harvard. And again, I don't like watching regionals and sectionals at places, at venues that don't allow the rules of wrestling on the edge to actually exist.
What?
Like, so if you look at the circles, obviously, if you've been to Harvard, you know that the 2 outside circles, they don't have
you're going
on the edge out to the saw.
You just got to wrestle up the wall.
Yeah. And then even in the center mat, because they were so close together, the circles were right next to each other. So when 2 people got close, they just stopped the match. So it's like, I definitely wanted to hear your guys' thoughts on, like, shouldn't there be requirements for people who are hosting regionals and sectionals that they have enough mat space to actually you have the rules in place that every state series has,
Yeah, it's 100%. I mean, those rules are changed, and you've got to be able to wrestle on the edge.
But maybe I'm wrong. Aren't the mats downstate smaller too, though?
Yeah, I mean, there is an argument that even at the IHSA state tournament that they don't let them wrestle completely on the edge, and most of it's because the mats, they don't have a skirt that goes around the mats. Again, let's go. We tacked on Iowa a little bit, but Iowa is still, they are the only team that I've seen in the entire country who have added skirt around the mat space, so they can always wrestle on the edge of the mat.
Well, that's because that's where they wrestle nowadays.
Well, because recently, I don't know if you saw the Oklahoma State, Iowa State 197-pound match, but Cody Merrill actually wrestled off the mat and then twisted his ankle.
Yeah, he did. I saw that.
And that is something that I've seen so many times. And I just feel like we are doing a disservice to the sport of wrestling to have these edge rules and then not have like requirements of like added skirt mats that go around. And
I agree. I mean,
100%. If you're gonna use a cylinder rule, right, then you better have some extra spot or space, because those guys are gonna keep wrestling. They're not gonna stop.
Yeah.
Yeah, there was someone in college this weekend that was wrestling, and they were like on the stage. And they got towards the edge of the mat, and the guy pushed him and pushed it right off the stage.
Yeah. That was the Penn State one, right?
Yeah.
So, I mean, I don't know. I saw some of the regionals. I know, like, for instance, the 1A sectionals at Byron this year, and unless they change the orientation of the mats, the far mat will be up against the wall. And, I had talked to some of the coaches on there. I said, you guys got to move your head table, because if you don't move your head table, you're not going to be able to have a legitimate end of the mat. But again, I feel like it's just one of those things that people just, it's all good. It's like, I don't know if it's good. I don't think Harvard should get the regional if they can't put 3 mats in a room without having the walls next to them. I just don't think they should be able to get it. I do know that when you apply for a regional, you have to go through a process of approval, right? And if you don't have the facilities, I feel like it's not good.
Oh, you know what, Dan? You got to go.
It's that time for me.
It's that time. Dan, Dan and Marty, thanks for reaching back out.
You got it. We're glad we got you going, Dalton.
I appreciate it. I was not asleep. I was just on to something else.
Saw you wiping off the drool.
Yeah. See you guys.
All right, guys.